Andy B here. Slightly sad, it's my last guest of today. We have been here, treated like royalty. It's wonderful, part of the family here at Torch Trust in Market Harborough in Leicestershire in the UK. If you're trying to find London, go north a bit, you sort of find it-ish. If you're not used to UK maps, that's where we are. And it's been great. We've met lots of people who do all sorts of work here at Torch Trust. This morning, really privileged to meet a lot of the people who come for the coffee morning with some lovely cake, and that was great too. So we've had a real plethora of just a smorgasbord of people. I've just had a smorgasbord jingle, so smorgasbord's a good word. Just so many people. And we've got somebody who's been looking after us all day, who I wanted to introduce you. So let me introduce you to my last guest of the day. Hello, just tell me your name for people who are listening, and what is it you do here at Torch Trust?
My name's Zoe. I do marketing and communications for Torch Trust.
And looking after radio crews when they come on site to make sure they have coffee and Wi-Fi.
Yes, definitely.
Which is super important, thank you. And a better Wi-Fi when it wasn't quite working for us. But that's fine. Right, so the question I'm loving to ask is, what drew you to Torch Trust? There's loads of jobs you could have done. So why did you think, do you know what, I'd like to go and work for Torch Trust? What drew you to this organisation specialising in working with people with visual impairment?
In all honesty, I hadn't heard of Torch before I applied for the job, which is a great start. I was in a job that had limited number of hours, and so I was looking to start doing something that could offer me more hours. I was applying for lots of different things, mainly in the charity sector, preferably Christian charities, but then there was significantly less of those around, and then saw this job and I was like, I feel like I could potentially do a few of those bits. Let's just give it a go. I applied for at least 100, I think. So it was more of a, let's just apply for anything and everything and see what happens.
So it sounds like God wanted to bring you here, which is great. That sort of wanting to work for a charity that's Christian, or a charity that's Christian and working with people or serving people in some form, that certainly seems to be quite common amongst all of your colleagues that I've chatted to so far. What is it you enjoy about working for Trust? It'll be a two-part question. What do you enjoy about working here because of the team and the culture? And what is it you love about your job, which will be a second part?
Yeah, so, I mean, you've heard this word so many times today, the word family. Everyone is so lovely here. We're able to chat with one another. If we've got anything that we want prayer for or support, we can just pretty much just go to anyone and be like, can you pray for me, or anything like that. Everyone's so open and honest about how they're doing, and yeah, it's just such a great group of people. Like, everyone's caring about what they're doing. They're caring about all their colleagues, as well as all the clients and everyone that we get to help as well. So then the second part about the job, I just really enjoy getting to be creative. I've got quite an educational type background, so I went to university and then studied to train as a teacher, and then have been tutoring and doing things like that since. I've not really allowed myself to be creative in a workplace setting, so I'm really enjoying being able to have a play around, create content for social media, create Christmas cards or other decorative type things on Canva. Yeah, I'm just really enjoying getting to be creative and getting to, like, kind of, I guess, unlock a different side that I've not really been able to express it in a workplace.
Which is exciting, isn't it? When you can find a job where it allows you to, especially if you're artistic in any kind of context, it's great that you can. I always say to our presenters, don't see a computer screen for your show. See it as a blank canvas. Be Michelangelo or whoever your artist of choice might be. But just paint your picture of your show. Yes, there are some things we like to do. We have the news on the air. We have an advert break, but that's the boundaries of the canvas. You can't paint off the canvas. You've got to paint within it. So there's your boundaries. Paint. Yeah. And that's how I always sort of explain it to the presenters we've got, because I think it's so important that you allow people to be the very best version of who they are in God's eyes, because you can control people to be all sorts of things. But when you allow them to have that God-given gift and to start to come through, which is scary if you're not careful, actually that's where the really good stuff happens.
Oh, for sure, definitely.
So what? Just give us a bit of an overview. What does your job entail? You're saying you're creating stuff for social media. There are jokes about that. The social media person comes with a camera and everyone runs away. But what's an average week look like for you?
I don't know if I've had an average week so far. I've had so many different things go on. There's some things that are kind of more repetitive. So we create a quarterly magazine that goes out with various articles about things that have been going on in the life of Torch. So that's one of the things that comes around frequently, as does creating the prayer diary as well. I don't do the physical designing of those things, but I help oversee and bring various parts together. But then there's completely one-off things like having you guys here, or another time when we were filming for a podcast and I recently designed some t-shirts for the team and things like that. So I don't know if average would be the right word, but get to do lots of different things, send various updates to different groups of people, just try and get our name and what we're doing out there as much as possible.
Which I'm guessing from what you've said so far then is the excitement of the job, that you don't go to Monday and think Tuesday's Monday and then Wednesday's like Tuesday. Actually, it's very varied, and then people like us turn up and it just creates a very, I suppose, quite a unique day. But I would like that. That's why I never wanted to work in a bank, because I would just get bored and start playing with the money and making little paper airplanes, which would not go down well. Thank you, Zoe, for what you've done for us today as well. It's been great. We've felt very looked after. If somebody was thinking, how can I get involved with Torch Trust? I can't work for them. I'm not blind. What have I got to do with that? They wouldn't want me to help them. How would you encourage people to think, you know what, maybe there's something you can do for Torch Trust, even if you're not local? How would you encourage people to think, I could actually help these guys?
Oh, well, there's so many various ways you can help. There's actually quite a few positions that it would be helpful if you did have sight. So like volunteering on a holiday. So often the volunteers on the holidays will be sighted people who can help guide people that have come as a guest on the holiday. So that would involve coming along for normally about 5 days to various locations across the UK, which therefore, if you live nearby that location rather than necessarily near Torch Trust, then you can go on that holiday and help. So that's that sort of thing. We've also got groups across the country as well that are always welcoming new people, whether you're visually impaired in some way, and therefore you would go and find a sense of community and potentially want to use some of our other services. But also, so many of those groups need people to volunteer to either drive people there if there's no clear transport link otherwise. Even just baking cakes for things. We've had so many cakes today. And whether that's for the coffee morning, for other events, for those groups that meet across the country. I've been to a couple of those recently, and they had some incredible cakes. So there's so many different things that people can do. And we're never going to say no to someone who offers to help. There's always something that fits someone's skill set that they can offer for us.
Which I think is another thing that a few people have sort of referenced, is that there's something for somebody to do, and maybe you don't know what it is you can do because you think, well, I can't see, therefore I can't do what everybody does. But actually, we've all got, I said this at lunch, didn't I? We've all got a gift. I absolutely believe that God's put inside us something that we can do, that we're uniquely and wonderfully able to do. But actually, sometimes we just need someone to give us a little bit of a nudge or an open door to think, oh, we could try doing that instead. And it's exciting when you see somebody who's so happy that they're getting to try something they've never done before because they didn't think they could, because they just assumed, well, I can't. Well, actually, maybe you can. And that's where, I guess, give Torch Trust a ring and see if you can help.
Yeah, for sure. Like, even just being a welcoming person, if, for example, you were to go on one of the holidays, or if you were local and you were to come in and help at a coffee morning or any other sort of event that we'd host here, just having a friendly face, friendly voice to welcome people in. And speaking of voices, we also have so many people volunteering to record books for us so that we've got audio copies of books as well. So that's something that you can do completely remotely. So that's another way that people can help out as well. And we're always looking for new voices to do those too.
I asked Sarah this question, but I'm going to ask you as well. If people want to get hold of Torch Trust, because we need to wrap this up, how do people get hold of you, and why would they want to get hold of you? How can you help people?
So we've got client services who are open for the majority of the week during like working days, generally working hours, with a little bit of some time when we get together as a staff team and pray that they're therefore not available. But that's via a phone number, which can be found on our website, via email, which is info@torchtrust.org. But then there's social media. So I run all the social media accounts. So you can send a message there to connect, and we can see what we can offer to help you. We've got our library, our holidays, so many ways to help it be more accessible, whether that's a church or just in general in your devotional life. We've got Bible notes that go out and various things like that. So we've got so many different ways to help people grow as a Christian. And that's one of the key things that we want to encourage here as well.
Okay, and the last thing that people can hear, which is important, what is the website, just one more time, that people can use to access all of your services here at Torch Trust?
Torchtrust.org is our website.
Torchtrust.org. We're going to be here for another 10 minutes or so. It's been great to hear. Thank you, Zoe, for your time.
Rated 5 stars by Sorted Magazine's film critic, Pure 247 takes you behind the scenes of the birth of a global Christian radio station. Andy B will have you laughing and crying as you discover what it takes to create ministry that matters in this inspiring tale of perseverance, honesty, and vulnerability. Buckle up and get ready for a story that's uplifting as it is entertaining. Behind the microphone, they face bankruptcy, eviction, and 2 life-changing surgeries. Can they make it? Will they make it? Get your copy of this life-changing book today. Pure 247 is available now on Amazon. Andy B is best described as a man after God's own heart, who insists that God's vision and resourcing trump all handicaps.